Recently, a lot of people have been asking me to do a video about Regulus. So what did I do? That's right, I made a video about Otto. Otto Sewin is a merchant who has the divine protection of soul languages. In Season 1, we don't really see too much of him, and that's because his character arc happens in Season 2, where he plays a much bigger role not only as an importance to the plot, but also as the subject of some of ReZero's most hilarious moments in the entire series. I'm keeping the spoilers in this video as vague as possible because I don't want to ruin his backstory or any important Season 2 moments, so this video is mostly just some Otto trivia from the author's Q&As with a bit of context as to why I love his character so much. Hope you guys enjoy it, and make sure you leave a comment if you know any fun Otto facts that I might have missed in the video. So initially, Otto starts off on the wrong foot with Subaru, selfishly abandoning him in hopes that he can save himself and escape from the white whale. However, this results in his off-screen capture by the witch cult, but in the final loop of Arc 3, Subaru saves Otto's life by vouching for him after the village is saved. That's right, if Subaru hadn't met him, right now Otto would either be dead or enslaved by the witch cult. Despite Otto's minimal screen time in Season 1, he plays an essential role in the third arc. Remember that without Otto, Emilia would have died from an explosion. Considering that, you'd think maybe Otto would get the credit he rightfully deserves. Yeah, no. Otto basically gets bullied by Rom and Subaru for about 90% of Season 2. However, after some endearing development during a few heartfelt moments, Otto ends up being not only one of my favorite characters, but also one of Subaru's best friends. You know, genuine friends seem to be somewhat rare for Subaru. He's friendly with most of the characters in ReZero, but that doesn't make them his friends. Subaru's relationship with Otto becomes one of the few in this series that seems to be a true friendship, and I think it's really important for Subaru to have some real friends he can rely on. Otto understands this too, to the point that he gets angry when Subaru doesn't rely on him. Otto's extremely loyal to the people he cares about, and he wouldn't hesitate to die for Subaru. Otto's a fairly fascinating character. I don't want to say too much about his magical capabilities, but he can dabble with a bit of earth magic under the right conditions, and I'ma just leave it at that. What I do want to talk about is arguably way more interesting anyway. Otto's divine protection allows him to communicate with plants and animals. This does not include spirits. Otto can't talk to them unless they're speaking a language used by living organisms. And by language, I mean anything from the ultrasonic waves of bats to the odorous chemicals emitted by plants. Remember that people are animals too, so this means Otto can understand any regional language as well, as long as the other party is actively trying to convey a specific message. To be clear, it's not so much that he can understand any language, but more so that he can understand the intent behind what people are saying. Hopefully that makes sense. Demon beasts are technically animals too, but they typically only say things like, "Me eat you whole." However, the white whale's voice actually caused Otto to go crazy in episode 17, and that's the reason he threw Subaru out of the carriage. At first, I thought it was the fog that got to him, but in reality, it was his own divine protection. But yeah, a lot of us initially wrote off Otto as a douchebag, but what he did back then wasn't really his fault, so try not to be too hard on him, alright? Otto's blessing is actually one of the rarest ones out there. Others have had it in the past, but those who failed to master it usually ended up committing suicide. When mastered, it's one of the few blessings in ReZero that can actually be toggled on and off. And for obvious reasons, Otto usually turns it off when he's cutting apart live chicken, fish, etc. In my ReZero Theories video, we actually got a question about Otto. This is coming from Theresia Van Estrella, who wants to know, well, Theresia, as a matter of fact, Otto does like flowers. Back when he was poor and couldn't afford regular food, he actually survived by eating flowers. He'd get bugs and animals to tell him which flowers were edible and which were poisonous, so I'd say yeah, Otto likes flowers. Thanks for the question, Theresia, and by the way, I loved your husband's performance during the whale battle. Super cool. Anyway, Otto doesn't eat too many flowers nowadays as he's a fairly decent chef, and as the Minister of Internal Affairs, he earns a nice enough salary from Roswell to afford decent food. But because Otto grew up kinda poor and had to eat flowers all the time, he only weighs about 60 kilograms, maybe even a little lighter. But don't let his weight fool you. Otto is a heavy drinker. His very first experience with alcohol resulted in him waking up in in a garbage dump the morning after. Since then, he's been proudly able to outdrink multiple people at once. He also likes to complement his booze with spicy treats, including the ReZero equivalent of habanero peppers. To go with his fondness of spicy foods, Otto's favorite color is actually red. The reason he wears a green colored outfit is because in Otto's experience, green is the color that's least likely to provoke violence from others, and such precautions are indeed necessary since Otto is one of the weakest characters in the entire series. But despite this, Otto can still beat Subaru in a fight, although Subaru's running speed is a bit faster than his. Otto does try to avoid physical conflict at all costs as he hasn't been trained to use any weapons. Though if he did have to pick one, it would likely be a short sword that he'd mostly use as a tool rather than a weapon. Now, I'm still not sure if this next one's a joke or not, but the author says Otto's first romantic experience was long ago when he got rejected by a cat. He now has a resentment for cats because they remind him of his trauma. Whether or not that was sarcasm from the author is up for you to decide. Otto's name is actually a play on words. Otato means oops in Japanese, so I guess you could call Otto an accident, but please don't. Otto's one of my favorite characters and he really doesn't deserve all the torment he goes through. Otto plays his role in the season 2 plot, but at first he's gonna seem like he's basically just a human punching bag for Rom and Subaru. He's the butt of every joke and he really only shows up when the other characters need someone to bully and laugh at. However, his character completely turns around throughout the course of the arc and the viewer's opinion of him will most likely change as well. He'll start off as someone you want to make fun of, and then he'll turn into someone you love, but also still want to make fun of. It's honestly rare for a comic relief character to get such meaningful development, and I can't wait to see more of Otto in the anime. I hope everyone else enjoys him as much as I do, and in case anyone would like to contact Otto, his address is Kingdom of Lagunica, Mathers Territory, Arlem Village, Mathers Residence, East Tower, 3rd floor, room 2. Thanks everyone for watching. If you like this type of video, let me know, because it's something I'm considering doing again in the future with other characters, and yes, Regulus is on that list. So if this interests you, let me know, and make sure you give the video a like to show your support. One last thing before I get out of here, while I was recording this, I got this idea where at the end of every one of my videos, right before I leave, I'll drop you guys a little random ReZero trivia fact. I don't know, I thought it'd be kind of fun to do. Y'all can let me know if that's a good idea or not. Anyway, the trivia fact of the day is, when Otto first saw the white whale's corpse at the flugel tree, he was so shocked that he actually peed a little bit in his pants. Keep talking about ReZero, guys. Peace out.